Bears prefer not to attack humans. We kill them far more frequently than they kill us, and many bears appear to be aware of this fact. When they attack, it's usually because they've gone hungry or have been startled. Nonetheless, attacks have increased in many parts of the world despite their reluctancy. In recent years, human-bear conflicts have increased in Yellowstone National Park with 2 fatal attacks in 2011 and another in 2015. A bike rider was killed by a grizzly bear near Glacier National Park in Montana in June 2016. Wildlife officials in the United States and Canada and Japan and Russia face similar challenges. Various factors have been linked to this, including habitat loss, human intrusion, food shortages, and climate change. Bear behavior is still influenced by biology and upbringing. American black bears, for example, are relatively docile and wary, whereas polar bears are more aggressive and more likely to see humans as prey. However, attempting to fully comprehend any bear attack is a difficult task, and since we can't communicate our peaceful intentions to bears, it's usually safer to simply stay away. Nonetheless, encounters with strangers are unavoidable. The best response depends on the species, time of the year, and other factors, but here's a general guide to dealing with these terrifying encounters. Before we move on, don't forget to drop a like. If you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon to turn on post notifications. Brown bears. Brown bears, also known as grizzly bears, are the most common bear species on the planet, with populations spanning much of Eurasia and northern North America, although they're generally larger and more aggressive than black bears. Color alone isn't a reliable way to distinguish them. Look for a hump of muscles in the bear's upper back, a distinguishing feature of brown bears. Conflicts with North American grizzly bears have been on the rise in the United States owing to a combination of growing grizzly and human populations as well as food shortages blamed on global warming by some scientists. On the other hand, climate change may expand the range of grizzlies, possibly even to polar bear territory. Keeping these tips in mind, if you come across any brown bear, always carry bear spray. In grizzly country, this is a must-have, preferably in a holster or front pocket because you'll only have a few seconds to fire. For grizzlies, bear spray is more useful than a gun because 1 or 2 bullets may not be enough to stop a fully grown adult. Don't be stealthy. If you believe there are bears in the area, talk, sing, or make other noises to alert them without surprising them. Don't bother a bear that isn't aware of your presence. Don't be a tease. Even if they're tied up, unattended food and trash are surefire bear magnets. When camping or hiking, try to produce as little waste as possible and carefully secure all food and trash. Dogs can also attract bears, so it's best to leave pets at home. Don't run. If you come across a grizzly, stand tall, remain calm, and slowly reach for your bear spray. If the bear stands up, don't be alarmed. It's usually just curious. Suppose you can back away slowly while still ready to spray, stop and defend yourself if the bear pursues you. Hit the dirt. If the bear continues to attack, drop the ground and lace your fingers around the back of your neck to protect it. Lay flat on the floor or resume a fetal position with your knees tucked under your chin to protect your stomach. Do not budge. Play dead. If the bear attacks, it's most likely striving to eliminate you as a threat. Faking death is your best bet at this point because you'll never be able to outrun or overpower it. Do not get up, even if it walks away. Stay down for at least 20 minutes because grizzlies are known to linger and make sure you're dead. Box its nose or eyes. This might be able to stop a grizzly attack, but only as a last resort. With grizzlies, it's best to pretend to be dead. However, if you can escape, back away slowly, do not run. Black bears. Although the Pacific Ocean separates the 2 major types of black bears, American and Asiatic, they are still more closely related than the brown bears that shared their habitats. The American bear is the smallest and most common bear in North America, with an estimated population of 900,000 ranging from Alaska to Atlantic. In contrast, Asiatic black bears are more endangered due to deforestation and controversial practice of bear farming. Although American black bears occasionally attack humans, they prefer to flee rather than fight because they are smaller, faster, and better climbers than grizzlies. Asian black bears, on the other hand, are more likely to attack humans, a problem that scientists believe will worsen as climate change continues. Keep these tips in mind if you come across a black bear. Be bear aware. Hold bear spray in regions where black bears are active. Keep the food and trash packed away and make noise when walking through the woods to avoid surprising hidden bears. Stand your ground. Because black bears are less aggressive than grizzlies, they will usually leave you alone if you demonstrate that you are significant and loud. Make a stir by shouting, waving your arms, and causing a commotion. Stay on the ground. To get away from a black bear, never climb a tree. They're excellent climbers and they'll chase after anything they think is fleeting, so you're likely to be trapped in the trees. Use bear spray. It can be beneficial, but it isn't as important as with grizzlies. However, the same principle applies. Spray when the bear is 40 to 50 feet away, forming a pepper spray wall in front of you. Fight back. It's often better to protect oneself against a black bear than to curl up on the ground unless you are physically unable to do so. Throughout the encounter, make noise and appear large, but if you find yourself at a close range, use any nearby object as a weapon to fend off the bear. Polar bears. Polar bears are not only the world's largest bears, but also the largest land carnivores. They aren't as omnivorous as other bears, preferring to eat seals and fish instead. This diet causes them to gain a lot of fat packed onto their sturdy frames to help them survive the harsh Arctic winter. Humans are no match for any bear in a one-on-one fight, but polar bears have a particularly lopsided advantage. They're also less used to seeing people, so they're more likely to regard us as prey. However, they live in relative isolation in the Arctic and are sufficiently reclusive to avoid human attacks. Because Arctic warming means less sea ice, which polar bears use as platforms to hunt seals, the relationship has only recently soured due to the effects of climate change. Hungry polar bears are increasingly venturing further inland, searching for food, putting them at odds with humans. Good luck! Polar bears are the world's most giant bears, and they're much more difficult to frighten than brown or black bears. Avoiding them in the first place is the best strategy. Don't act like prey. This is sound advice for any bear encounter, but it's especially important when dealing with polar bears. They're the most likely species to consider you a meal, and fleeing will only confirm their fears. They're also faster and better at running on ice and snow than you are. Use bear spray. Since you can intimidate a polar bear and their habitat doesn't have many hiding places, it's your best bet. If you're going to the grizzly country, make sure the spray is easily accessible and that you know how to use it before you go. Don't give up. Unfortunately, polar bears do not respond to playing dead or fighting back as their small relatives. They're usually more interested in eating you than in eliminating you as a threat. So pretending to be dead may just make their jobs easier. Fighting back is pointless, but you don't have much to lose if you're rolling around in the tundra with a 1-ton polar bear. Try to hurt its nose or eyes and stay away from those big swinging paws as you would with other bears. A single strike can be fatal. That's all for today, guys. We will be coming with more exciting videos. Stay tuned and turn that post notification on.